Hey there, I'm back for another edition of Amazing Mathematics, and today we're going to talk about the practice test. A lot of you have asked if I'd give this to you, and I am. I want you to be successful, whatever that might look like. So first, I'll do two short videos. First is going to be the skills assessment, and the next will be the problem solving. Really quick. Our standards are using numbers expressed in the form of a single digit times an integer power of 10 to estimate very large and very small quantities and to express how many times as much one is in the other and to perform operations with those numbers in scientific notation. Okay, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're assessing on. And let's get to it. Let's do some math. So this is changing these two numbers to standard notation. Standard notation is what we've been writing numbers in our whole life. So to do that, I take this decimal point and I move it that many places. Positive exponent, very big number, so I move it to the right. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All these become zeros. So it's going to be 339 with 5 zeros. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put in my commas. And there we go. I'm going to make this a little bigger because it's hard for me to write in those small boxes. All right, so I have 33,900,000. That's a 0, not a 6. All right, over here, same thing, except because it's a negative exponent, it's going to be a small number. I move it back 8 spots. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 1, 2. Just took this, moved it back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. Put my decimal, filled all of these with zeros. And notice there are 8 zeros here. Same as that. Little shortcut there. Change to scientific notation. Well, scientific notation is written as the product of two numbers. The first number is between 1 and 10, so that would be 8.32. The second number is a power of 10. Well, I need to move this decimal all the way here. I need to move it all the way there, and that's where it started. So to do that, it would be 3 spots, 6 spots, 9 spots, 10, 11 spots is how many I moved it. So I just loop it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's where the 11 comes from. Again, really big number, it's positive. Here, this is a small number, so it's going to be negative. My lead factor has to be between 1 and 10. Product of a number between 1 and 10 and a power of 10. So I move this over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots. It's negative because it's really small. All you have to do when when changing standard to scientific notation. Now we're going to subtract here. We have the same power, which makes life much easier. So then I just have to do 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4 times 10 to the negative third power. Easy enough. That's going to be a really small number, by the way. And number 6, we are adding here same powers. Lovely. 10 to the 10th. I just add 3.67 and 6.12. Gives me 979, I think. 9.79. 3 plus 6 is 9. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. Yep. Times 10 to the 10th. Subtracting again. Uh-oh. Bummer. Now I got to change something. I'm going to change this one, because it's bigger, to 10 to the 5th. And because I reduced it by 2, I move my decimal over 2, and this becomes 940. And then I'm going to subtract 2.5 times 10 to the 5th. Now I have the same exponent, so it's going to stay 10 to the 5th. 940 minus 2.5. Well, 940 minus 2 is 938, minus a half is 937.5. Not scientific notation, so I got to move it back. And that becomes 9.375 times 10 to the 7th power. So a lot of moving the decimal back and forth, but that shows that you understand what you're doing when you multiply with powers of 10. All right. You really want to understand powers of 10. They're your friends. Here I'm going to change this to 10 to the 8th because I reduced it. That becomes 24. plus 3.1 times 10 to the 8th. Now I have my common power of 10. 24 and 3.1 is 27.1. I got to change it back by moving my decimal one spot. I make this number smaller so my exponent gets bigger. And you just fly through that. Once you do enough practice, it just makes sense. It just becomes kind of like muscle memory. You don't have to think too much about it. All right, so now we're multiplying. This is different. We don't need common powers of 10. We don't need that because we have the same base and exponential form, same base. We keep the base, we add the exponents. Then we just multiply the lead factors, 5 times 3. So it's 15 times 10 to the 18. Well, this has to be 1.5. Because I reduced this by 1, I increased that by 1. 1.5 times 10 to the 19th. Division is the same. We don't need same magnitude. We divide the lead factor. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Times, I subtract the exponents. 9 minus 2 is 7. And that's it. Easy peasy. That's all for the skills section. You'll have about 10 questions, maybe a few more, maybe a few less. But if you can do that, you can do the skills very well and efficiently. Hope that helped.